Hello and welcome everybody to another Foundations draft. I'm Paul Cheon, and today we are sitting at Platinum 1. We just came off of a draft where we had an awesome Orzhov deck here that allowed us to just overpower our opponents with our absurdly broken opens. We opened the 3 on-color rares and they were all absurd, so I don't know if we're going to match the luck from the last one, but you know, we can always hope. We can always hope. Now, before we head into this draft, I just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Check out TCGplayer.com for all your TCG singles and sealed product needs. Whether or not you need a box of Foundations or a box of anything for that matter to crack open some packs or to pick up a few singles to round out your constructed decks, check out TCGplayer.com and make sure you click that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Additionally, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. We're talking about deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and more. They're also working on a few new exciting products, which I will announce once they announce it. But make sure you check them out. Go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Alrighty. Okay, you know what? This is not as good as Alenda. I'm just going to say, Crystal Barricade, that is not the answer. What do we have? Well, at Uncommon, we have 5 of them. There's a Fiendish Panda and a Serra Angel as cards that stand out to me. There's a Felidar Savior at Common, which is quite a decent card here, along with Think Twice and Uncharted Voyage. Those are the 3 commons that I'm looking at. So, do I want one of these, or do I want to take a card like a Serra Angel? I do think Felidar Savior, on average, is better than the Serra Angel. And Fiendish Panda is the strongest card, but I don't know that it's enough better for me to take first pick over something like a Felidar Savior. So I'm looking at the Felidar Savior here. And yeah, I think it's going to be the card that I take. I think there's just so many good synergies that go with this card in general. +1/+1 counters, the life gain. It's good in just basically any deck that you want, as long as you can curve out and play those creatures. So I think for that reason, I want to take the Savior here. Moving on to this pack, all of these uncommons are pretty underwhelming. At Common, wow. This pack just kind of stinks in general. What do I even want? There's a Burglar Rat and Courageous Goblin, which is not so great in red-white. Gnarly Colony is okay, but I never want a second pick. There's just nothing worthy of an early pick in this pack, really. So I guess I'll take Burglar Rat. I know that means we might go back-to-back black-white, but we first picked the Felidar Savior, so it's not clear, or it's not necessarily the case that we're going to move into black-white. That was just a very, very weak pack in general. But now, we have a much stronger pack. There's a Kaikar. 3rd pick. So hopefully, that means that blue and white will be something that we can end up in. There's some green cards here in Bite Down, Affectionate Indrik, and Cephalid Inkmage is also okay. But none of those really comes close to the power level of a Kaikar, which just has so much upside. And 4 mana for a 3/4 flyer is already just a solid body as it is. And we have a Felidar Savior, so why don't we go ahead and take the Kaikar here and see what we can make out of what we have. Going into pick number 4... there's a Grappling Kraken. I'm not the biggest fan of this. It just costs 6 mana, so I don't really want that. There's a late Swiftblade Indicator, and so if I wanted to go into maybe a Boros beatdown deck, that's something I could consider. Another fairly weak pack, there's a Fake Your Own Death, which is an okay combat trick, goes well with the Burglar Rat. But I think I'm probably just going to take a Prideful Parent, maybe try to cut off white where we can. Goes well with the Felidar Savior, even if I don't have a 2-drop or if my 2-drop trades. If I go Prideful Parent into Felidar Savior, that's just a solid curve as it is. So I'm going to take this over to Swiftblade Vindicator because I don't know what my second color is necessarily. And so I'd rather just take the card that I think has a really good shot of being able to make it into my deck. And now, well, white is certainly open, I think. Pick 5, there's a Guarded Heir and a Felidar Savior. Very, very nice. Along with Infernal Vessel, which is a very, very solid black creature as well. I don't know that it's better than the white cards. I think it's somewhat close, but given that I just want to continue cutting off the white, I'd rather take one of these 2 cards. There's also an Uncharted Voyage, which is a really nice spell to go with the Kaikar. Yeah, I think Infernal Vessel might be the best card, but I'm going to take Savior. Guarded Heir is great. Guarded Heir is certainly great. It's a good top-end card. But I also just love the Felidar Savior. But noting that because I'm taking this, I am going to try my best to try to keep my curve reasonably aggressive here. because this goes best in an aggressive deck. So now there's a Dauntless Veteran, and I normally don't like this card, but if I'm really heavy white, this could be something that makes it into my deck. There's also Vengeful Blood Witch, which I don't care for. Frenzied Goblin is okay as an aggressive creature, but I think this could be a Dauntless Veteran pick for us, and we go something like a near mono-white aggressive strategy where I think this card can actually have a home. Goes well with the Prideful Parent as well. So, like I said, I'm not a big fan of this card in general, but if I'm going to be very, very heavy white, yeah, I can see it working. All right, moving on to pick number 7. I don't really want to take Hera Parent. It's just a Grizzly Bear. Hungry Ghoul certainly has a lot more upside. There's also Courageous Goblin if I wanted to move into a red-white strategy. Blue seems to be getting somewhat cut here after the Kaikar. Haven't seen a ton of blue. So do I take a Hungry Ghoul as a 2-mana play or take the Courageous Goblin, which is a little bit better than the Hungry Ghoul if I do end up trying to draft a more aggressive deck? I think I'll just take the Hungry Ghoul here. The Courageous Goblin's also fine, but I just feel like I already have a black card, and it's not like Courageous Goblin is absurd, and it's not even at its best in red-white anyways. Moving into this pack, we have a couple of green cards in the Elite and the Snakeskin Veil. This pack is pretty underwhelming. I hate Marauding Blight Priest. This does not feel like a Meteor Golem deck. So I'm going to take the highest upside pick here and just take a Snakeskin Veil in case I end up with some kind of a green deck here. Just because we're basically just trying our best to cut off white and figuring out what our second color should be. Now there's a Prowler and an Uncharted Voyage. I'd really rather be blue if possible because I have this Kaikar. So I will take this Uncharted Voyage. It's a really good interactive spell. Blue didn't seem particularly open, so we'll note that that was the case. I will take Fake Your Own Death here and just kind of take it one pick at a time here. This just really... All I know is I'm taking white cards, right? Fake Your Own Death gives us a decent black-white base. Affectionate Indrik can be okay here. We are seeing this late Goblin Borders, but let's take the Indrik in case green and white is something. Okay, well, let's take the Swiftblade into case. I guess I should have taken the Borders. I don't know. Boros as a color combination is open. We are just kind of all over the place here. So we need to kind of find a lane here and stick with it. But right now, I'm just going to take Celestial Armor. Take the best white card in the pack. Dazzling Angel, Banishing Light, also very, very good. Bacon Dough Pie, also a premium common, but Celestial Armor has proven itself to be one of the best cards in the entire set, especially if you are a more aggressively slanted deck. All right, moving into this pack, the best card in this pack is going to be one of these red cards here. Abrade and Fiery Annihilation are both very, very good. But again, I don't know what my second color is here. We have the Vindicator late. We saw a Courageous Goblin, but that's basically it. Oh, there's a Goblin Borders as well, but my black is currently, and blue are better than the Swiftblade Vindicator, so I think I'm just going to keep taking white cards, and I do think I like Healer's Hawk over the Resolute Reinforcements. Healer's Hawk with double Felidar Savior seems really, really strong, along with the Dauntless Veteran, so it's a very early Healer's Hawk, but I do think it's pretty good given what we have here so far. All right, moving into pick number 3. Still not many blue cards here available for us. Gorehorn Raider is fine, but these green cards are better. There's Felling Blow and Llanowar Elves, and Felling Blow is really, really good. So I think I'm going to take that here. I don't have that much interaction, so I do think I want to take that over the Llanowar Elves. So maybe we end up in green-white? As odd as that feels based on our start. And now we have the choice between Llanowar Elves and Cathar Commando. There's also Gorehorn Raider. There's some blue cards. Black seems to be getting pretty cut off here. And yeah, I mean, there's some blue here. But you know what? I think I'm just going to take Llanowar Elves here. And maybe we can just go green-white aggro and try to go down that route. I haven't drafted that deck very often. Now we're seeing the Mischievous Mystic. But I just think at this point... with the Llanowar Elves, and I do have Felling Blow and Snakeskin Veil, why don't we just try to lean into a green-white aggressive strategy? And in a green-white aggressive deck, I do think Overrun can be quite nice, but this does make my mana very awkward with the Dauntless Veteran. Also, the Mystic right now isn't particularly strong. I don't have that much card draw anyways. We are getting blue here in this last pack here, but I just think Overrun is probably the pick here, given that we're probably going to just try to play a bunch of creatures and go wide. And we do have a Llanowar Elves to help us cast this card. And now I just want to keep my curve low, so let's take Cathar Commando for the deck over something like a Vanguard Seraph. Notably, that's our first 2-drop. We'll slam Mild-Mannered Librarian. Do like that over the Gnarlid Colony. And all right, we are settling in here. Settling in to some green-white. Seeing a lot of blue. I guess there were some packs that had multiple white cards because we got no white in this pack, which is a little bit unfortunate. I don't really like playing too many Affectionate Indrix, but it's the only card here for us. Could have seen a world where we play a red-white deck as well, but you know what? Hey, we're getting the green cards in this pack, so we can't be too upset. Not a big fan of Wary Thespian, but I do like the Beastkin Ranger, so I'll take that over the Thespian, even though we kind of need some 2-drops. There's a Dwinnen's Elite here, which I would prefer not to play, but if I need 2s, I will. So this is kind of our deck here so far. My only concern is I think I'm going to play this Dauntless Veteran, but just my mana is just not going to be great for the card. It's still probably playable, but it's just not absurd. Also, there's a couple of Affectionate Indrix, which are just kind of on the expensive side of things. It's a little bit better if I can pick up a few more copies of the Llanowar Elves, but hey, we picked up the Felling Blow. We have a Snakeskin Veil as a good trick along with Celestial Armor. Let's try to keep our curve relatively low. We got some good tricks. Pick up some bite downs and some 2-drops, and I think we'll be set here. I don't think I'll ever play Secluded Courtyard, but what kind of 2s do I even want in this type of deck? Gnarlid Colony, I guess. Helpful Hunter is fine. Cathar Commando is okay. Dwinnen's Elite I don't love just because there's just not that many elves to choose from. All right, here we have an interesting choice. There's a lot. There's Llanowar Elves, Resolute Reinforcements, and Condemn. I mean, it's just going to be Llanowar Elves. This card's awesome. I do like Condemn, but I feel like with Overrun and a couple of Affectionate Indrix, Llanowar Elves is precisely the type of creature that we want in this deck, so I will take it here. And now, that also allows us to go from 1 to 3, which is pretty nice. Here we have the choice between Soulstone Sanctuary, Luminous Rebuke, and Cackling Prowler. Given that my mana is not fantastic, I will not take the Sanctuary and probably just take the Luminous Rebuke. I just like this card in general. We need more interaction as well. The Prowler is fairly replaceable, so let's just take the Rebuke out of that pack. And moving on to pick number 3, where there is not really much for us here. There's a Mischievous Pup, but I don't have that many good come into play. I guess I have some expensive stuff here. There's also a Cackling Prowler, which is the other consideration here. I don't want a third Affectionate Indrix, I don't think. You know, I'm probably just going to take the Prowler here. I don't really like the Pup very much. And I just have 2 6s already. So let's just take a 4-mana card. That's just a solid body for this deck. All right, here we have... There's Rogue's Passage, which is okay, but like I said, I'm still kind of concerned about my mana. So I can take Evolving Wilds to make the mana better, or a Treetop Snare Spinner. You know what? I really like the Treetop Snare Spinner. We're light on interaction, and this gives us a mana sink as well. So I'm actually just still going to just take Treetop Snare Spinner in this white-green deck. And now I'll take the Guarded Air, another good card to ramp into. We do have a couple of 6s already, but this card is fantastic with Overrun. So I think I want to take that here. And I do like it more than the Elfsworn Giant here. And look, we have the double Llanowar Elves. All right, white was at least open from the other direction. And we do see a late Affectionate Indrix, but going to slam the Banishing Light here just to have another interactive spell. And, you know, honestly, in this type of deck, wow, that is a late Tragic Banshee. Wow. Okay. That is late Tragic Banshee, but it's okay. I'm going to take the Pup now over Make Your Move. I'm not in love with this card, but we can still play it turn 2 off the Llanowar Elves. And in the very late game, we did pick up Guarded Air. So being able to pick this up is also pretty nice. So why don't we take this? Like I said, I don't love this card in this deck, but we'll just take it as a playable. Here, I'll take Garruk's Uprising just because I'm never playing Grow from the Ashes. I don't actually think I have enough 4-power creatures to have this card be good, but we'll just take it just in case. And now I'm going to take, wow, I guess blue. I guess I was supposed to go white-black or white-blue based on what we're seeing here. We got past the kite, but I don't know. I just felt like blue didn't seem super duper open. And then now we have a, like, Spectral Sailor tabling should never happen. Here, I'll take Armasaur Guide, which I don't love. Now, Feybloom Trick. Okay, blue was absolutely open. I guess blue-white was where we needed to be. But you know what? This is the deck that we have. Another Feybloom Trick? That's outrageous. That is outrageous! Shenanigans, I say. Shenanigans. Uncharted Voyage with 2 cards. How does this happen? You know, honestly, I really don't know how this happens. Where you just... It's kind of hard to figure out your lane. And then just in pack 3, just everybody decides to abandon a color. I don't know. It's like Uncharted Voyage was the only card that we took in pack 1 that was blue and made blue seem somewhat open. So yeah, I'm not sure. All right, all these other cards are fairly mediocre. Would our blue-white deck have been much, much better? Absolutely. We would have had double Feybloom Trick with Kaikar, double Uncharted Voyage, a Spectral Sailor. But, you know, I'm trying to make green happen. So here we are, okay? Here we are. Our curve is just not great either. Oof. This looks a little bit rough. I'm going to be honest. This looks a little bit rough. I mean, it's a deck. It's a deck with cards in it. Well said, Paul. Well said. We have a couple of mana sinks and a few 6-drops, so I think 17 lands, double Llanowar Elves is fine. And I will play the Rogue's Passage here as a mana sink, even though I know that it's not great for my mana. But I also don't think I have other good options here. I could play the Dwynen's Elite as another 2-mana play. I do have double Llanowar Elves and a Beastkin Ranger, so I can just play it for the sake of my curve. And with very little upside, but just because I feel like I probably do need the bear. And if that's the case, do I cut something like a Dauntless Veteran or a Mischievous Pup? Dauntless Veteran, notably with Llanowar Elves, is just not a good combo because I can just never play this on turn 2. And I don't have as ideal of a curve as I kind of would have hoped before. So maybe it is the Veteran that goes. Yeah, I mean, given that my mana is not very good and I have a Llanowar Elf-centric deck, when I took the Dauntless Veteran, I was hoping to go a very heavy white deck with lots of creatures and a very low curve, but that's not what ended up happening. So I do think I will cut the Veteran just because it's really hard to cast, and it makes my mana situation a lot better here. Now the question is, do I go 9 forests? And I think the answer is yes. I have 0 double white cards now. I have double Llanowar Elves, and I'm trying to play Overrun. So let's go 9 forests, 7 plains, and to try this deck out. Do I think this deck is great? I don't. Do I think I should have ended up in blue-white? I do, but I still feel like this deck has a chance with the double Llanowar Elves and the Overrun and a bunch of creatures. Let's hope this gets it done here for us. All right, now before round 1 starts, I just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying all of this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Special shout out to all the patrons here. Thank you so much for all of your support. It truly does help out a ton and allow me to continue making all of this content on a daily basis. Access to the Patreon will give you access to a number of great benefits. One of the biggest things is access to my Discord channel, which I think I've done. We've just really built a really good community there, and hopefully you can join in on that community. All right, I have a Llanowar Elves with no forest, but I have Healer's Hawk, Luminous Rebuke, Celestial Armor. Definitely going to keep this. There is that awkward Rogue's Passage staring at us in the face here. And yes, I know it could have been a forest. But we'll see. We'll see if this wins me more games than loses me. But being able to... The thing is with green-white, sometimes you're able to get some damage in early, but you have some difficulty punching through. And that's where a card like the Rogue's Passage comes in. I could have just left mana up for Luminous Rebuke, but... There's a good chance they don't attack me with the Valkyrie. And if that's the case, then I just want to play the Llanowar Elves and just kind of curve out here. Alrighty. I mean, they could just block if they think it's Giant Growth, but it's Celestial Armor. So this is going to eat the Valkyrie, and we just have a 3-1 Flying Lifelinker, so that's great. Vanguard Seraph, okay. Will they attack me with the Thespian? I don't know. I don't think so. Here the question is, am I happy trading Healer's Hawk for Vanguard Seraph? I think the answer is yes. So let's just attack. Such a good racing tool here as well. Okay, and then now I'm just going to pass. No reason to cast the Luminous Rebuke just yet. If they play a big lifelinker, sure. But there's also a shot they just play a big creature here, and if that's the case, then I can cast the Rebuke here. Cathar Commando, very nice. They're going to use that to kill the armor for sure. Interesting. Thespian attacking as well. They have 2 cards in hand. Do I take the 6 here? I mean, killing a 3/3 flyer seems pretty good. Alright, let's try to kill the Seraph. Snakeskin Veil or Celestial Armor would be pretty bad, of course. I'm going to take the 3 here because I want to play the Indrik. Oh, wow, what a good draw. I'm going to attack with just the Healer's Hawk. They're going to kill my armor here, most likely. They'll take 1. And now I'm just going to play Guarded Air. This card's great. What are they going to do? Attack me with Thespian? Also, I did not expect to play the green-white mirror. I will say. Okay, Bite Down is a decent way to just get something off the battlefield. And yeah, we're going to just fire off this Indrik here now. If they have a combat trick, so be it. Like, Giant Growth doesn't even work, really. What the heck? This must be a fleeting? Like, what is that attack? What on earth was that attack? Wow, okay. Anyways. Let's just spread the love here. With the Felidar Savior, our opponent at 9. And yep, that's going to get it done. That's going to get it done. That was just a good old-fashioned back and forth there, and Celestial Armor, the rare, is what took it home for us. We were able to just gain so much life by slapping that onto the Healer's Hawk. Okay, 1-0. Can hit Diamond. Can hit Diamond if we have a good run here. Opponent on the play. Alright, well, we have a solid hand. Plains Forest, Healer's Hawk, Mild Manner Librarian, and decent curve. We're on the draw, so pretty likely to find some lands here. We don't have a 2-drop, but we can still go turn 1 Healer's Hawk into turn 2 Mild Mannered Librarian. It would be awkward if we drew a Llanowar Elf. I guess we just play Llanowar Elf. Helpful Hunter is the play from the opponent. Another green-white mirror. Another green-white mirror. Alright, I'm going to play the Mild Mannered Librarian. I drew Dwinen's Elite. But now that I have the Beastkin Ranger, I can actually try to get some value here with the Elite by playing the Ranger first and then making a token. Every little bit of value is relevant, especially when you're playing a deck where you have Overrun in your deck. Ooh. The frisky little cat gets in. No land? Oh, they're okay. They're one of them second main phase folk. I mean, this Dwinen's Elite should be really good against them. Even if I draw a land, just playing Felidar Savior to make a 4/4 Beastkin Ranger is also quite nice. It looks like a Bite Down's about to happen here. Oh, it's just a Prowler. Okay, sure. So Thespian, I don't think you want to attack. Okay. Okay. So what do I want to do now? I think I like the Felidar Savior line. Just put something into play, get a flyer going, and pump the Beastkin Ranger. So now this is a 5/4. I think I'm not going to attack because I want to get the value off the Dwinen's Elite. It also acts as a really good blocker. And I'm still getting in with the Healer's Hawk. So this just kind of forces the action if they want to get aggressive. They have 4 cards in hand. There's certainly a turn where they can use like a good combat trick or Overrun's not going to do it here. But next turn we have the ability to go Dwinnen's Elite into keeping up Luminous Rebuke, which is pretty nice. If they choose to attack us with the Prowler here, I can also just kill it with the Rebuke by paying 4 mana because it has Ward 2. They might want to be setting up a removal spell. Like this would be a good time for them to, for example, bite down my Beastkin Ranger and grow the Prowler. That would be very, very good. I would not like that, but I think they would. All right. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, this was kind of expected. So Prowler will be quite large here. And Scavenging Ooze? Ugh. That's gross. The thing is, this is already going to trigger once anyway, so I might as well just... And I can't really get a great exchange anymore, so... Yeah, this is kind of unfortunate. I mean, Cackling Prowler is going to be quite strong here. Just going to pass. I don't actually even know what I want to kill. I could have just played Dwinnen's Elite, honestly. But if they choose not to attack with Scavenging Ooze, I can actually kill it end of turn. And that makes it so that the Cackling Prowler can't actually... that makes it so the Cackling Prowler won't actually get a counter, which could be worth. I'm at 27 life, so I don't care as much about my life total. Whoa. Interesting. All right, you got me. I don't think they have a combat trick. I think they have like a bite down or something. I'll just take all of it so they don't get the counter on the Prowler. Treetop Snare Spinner. End of turn. Kill Scavenging Ooze. Alright, well, this is annoying in the sense that they have a Treetop Snare Spinner. I could have killed it, but I think Scavenging Ooze is a far more threatening card. I think they have a bite down, so I'm just gonna draw a card here. Let's play Dwinnen's Elite and then just pass, I guess. Like, they attack with Helpful Hunter, right? That seems kind of crazy. So, bite down is the card that makes sense to me. Yeah, but Scavenging Ooze, very, very strong. They have the mana, they have the Mana Sink here and the Treetop Snare Spinner as well. And if Cackling Prowler is the only thing that attacks, I'm certainly just going to take it. Yeah, I mean, being the person on the back foot in the green-white mirror is just really, really tough. Okay, that doesn't matter. Okay. Wow. All right. That was good. Let's get that. And 2 in the air. No, this is good. And now the Rogue's Passage will actually be relevant. I'm at 19. Healer's Hawk gets to get in. And then I can just start making my Cackling Prowler unblockable. And that's 6 damage a turn. So we'll see what they have. Also setting up for Affectionate Indrik top decks, Overrun top decks. Those would all be pretty nice things off the top. But Banishing Light cannot complain about that, of course. But they have 3 cards in hand. I wonder if they have an Overrun. It feels like they're just constantly doing math on that side. But it did feel like they had a bite down. But I don't know. So like putting a counter on this seems less good. Hmm. They have 3 cards in hand? Ugh, this is annoying. The thought of giving something unblockable and just not attacking, You know what? This is really, really weird. But I'm going to attack with Healer's Hawk and not give anything unblockable and kind of get them to use a bite down here or something. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, I can... Okay, this was good, actually, because I can, Yep. Cathar Commando, sure. Okay, well, I'm glad I actually waited, though. Because now I can give this unblockable. So they can't block. And Cackling Prowler grows. I'll take that. 21 to 12. They have the Mana Sink in play, but I have the Rogue's Passage here. They're at 12 life. They don't have great attacks. I don't have the mana to cast Savior and give something unblockable. Oh, good Fortune Unicorn into a life gain effect. Okay. Mischievous Pup. How do I want to do this? Let's play Felidar Savior. Let's put a counter here, and I think... here. And let's attack here. No terrible situation here. Oh, we just got in for damage. All right. Dauntless Veteran. Okay. Oh, wow. They just had nothing. Okay. I mean, they have something, obviously, but... they don't really have fantastic attacks. They might want to put a counter on the Snare Spinner, because if I put another counter on Healer's Hawk, it's really tough for them. Yep. Good play from the opponent. Now I got to figure out how I want to approach this. I'm going to just... yeah. I mean, they have to draw something here, right? Like, I'm at 21. Okay, that draws them a card. Everything has trample. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay. I consider playing the pup the previous turn, but I mean, it doesn't really matter too much because of the trample. Also, I would have picked up my Savior, which isn't that great either. Sure. Whatever. I don't really think too deeply about this, I will say. But I just wanted to make decent blocks. What did you top deck? That doesn't do anything. Alright, so they're dead. Okay. Good game. Good back and forth. We're gaining a bunch of life, though. And, getting it done. Just good old-fashioned Magic, right? Back and forth, figuring out combat math, jockeying for position, a handful of removal spells here and there. See, I like games like that. I like it. Even if I lost that game, right? If my opponent kind of ran away with the game with the Snare Spinner, I would be okay with it. Good Magic. That's all I want. All right, 2-0 with our honest Selesnya deck. I have forests and plains and magic cards I can play, but I don't have any cheap things to play, which is unfortunate. Especially considering I have a decent number of ones. I have double Llanowar off Healer's Hawk. Would have been cool to draw one of those. But didn't find it. Turn 1 Healer's Hawk is not what we want to see. Especially because we're playing a deck that's... like, got only some... We don't have that much damage in this deck. And so, this is not ideal. And they at least we were on the play, okay? But they went 1-drop, 2-drop, and at least they don't have a good life gain payoff card here. I'm going to play the pup. They might just kill it here. I'm going to play the Prowler here. And then that way when I play the Savior, I can have 2 targets. Also, I have Snakeskin Veil up, too. So, them not playing anything through turn 3 is pretty good. They could have a Hero's Downfall or a Stab. Yeah, I mean, I don't like... I think they should have just stabbed this when I was tapped out, honestly. Like, how much better... Like, how much more value can you even get? You know what I mean? It's like, I dislike just choosing to take the damage there. I just kind of have to play this, I think. It's a race! Dauntless Veteran, okay. I mean, that pumps their air squad. Just 2 ships passing through the night. That's what's happening here. Oh, fake your own death. God, that's so awkward on my mana. Ugh. But they have fake your own death. I mean, yeah. I just have to play Guarded Air here, sadly. I mean, I could keep this alive, but I need to play creatures here. So yeah, I mean, they had a phenomenal curve. So it is what it is. Overrun would be nice, I suppose. At least we got the fake your death out of their hand, so they can't save the veteran if they attack. But they're going to hit me for a lot. Oh, I should have blocked with the Guarded Air too. Oh, that might have cost me. I hope not. I should be at 8 life here. They probably should have played that first. I should be at 8 life. Their deck looks really solid. Yeah. It's just like, what do I even kill? You know what I mean? What do I even kill? With that panda in play, I just don't see myself coming back from this spot. I think it's the Squad Rallier, but I can't even attack. Just because it gives them value, and presumably they're running out of things to play. Held a land here. Especially against black decks, you want to hold lands if you can afford to. This Fiendish Panda is ginormous. Man, we should be at 7. That might matter. Yeah, I mean, this panda is just I'm chump blocking basically every turn here. I mean, not much I can even say here. It's just like they got a little more value out of the helpful hunters and the burglar rats, and I didn't have a way to kill the panda in time, and they're gonna get me here. Those attacks make sense to me. All right, we're at 4. Yeah, the Healer's Hawk did so much work for them this game. It gained them so much life. So it just made it really difficult for me to just, like, race them. So I'm at the point where I'm chump blocking this panda, which has just gone completely out of hand. So gonna scoop that one up, and we are 2-1. 2-1. Okay. Let's get like a good opener. No, that's not a good opener. All right, that's better. There's the rebuke, but I have a couple of menacings here. I don't want to bottom a land here. They don't have Burst Lightning because they would have killed the Llanowar Elves. They could have a Braid. Okay, there's the Cavalry, and they're not going to block. And then I'll just play the Prowler. Just puts the most pressure, I think. Like, if they want to spend their turn killing my Librarian before I get to draw a card, sure, right? Like, I'm still beating them down for 4 here. Just the old mono green beatdown hand. Snakeskin Veil should be fantastic. Oh, they didn't even have an untapped land turn 3. Because usually turn 4 is where you get to play one of your bounce effects. They could have an Annihilation. Okay, so this is a Sure Strike, I guess. So I'll just take it. Oh, wow. Was it a bluff? Could have been. Okay, well, let's pump this. How do I want to do this? Like, I don't really want to trade the Prowler for the borders. But maybe I should. Sure. I mean, the Librarian is definitely attacking. They have a Sure Strike. Yeah, I'm just going to attack with both. I want to play out all my lands because I have the Snare Spinner. And my plan at this point now is just I have a Snare Spinner. That is my route, right? Like, they clearly have a Sure Strike here. That would be my guess, given that they're attacking me. So I am going to not run into it. Strongbox Raider is huge. They hit an involuntary employment. Okay, so that's what Snakeskin Veil is going to be used for. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. Nope, they kept the mountain. For a blue mana, I can't really... What can they play for 1 blue? It just feels like they have Sure Strike, right? Feels that way. I'm only doing this because I have a life total advantage. I'm not sure if this is correct, though. I'm blocking the Whelp now. Okay, we'll do this, and now they can't really attack me. I guess they can attack me with the Raider still. Okay. Slumbering Cerberus. No attacks from them. Oh, this has Death Touch too? Okay, well, how much toughness did it have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage. 16 damage. They're basically going to let the Snare Spinner go through. Llanowar Elves gets blocked by the Cerberus. And then Mild Manner Librarian needs to get... Whatever. I'm just attacking. I just don't see how this goes all that wrong for us. They're going to just have to block a bunch of things. It's like this is an attack for 16 and they have 10 defense. So even if they block everything, they take a ton of damage. 16 minus 10. They'll go to 3. They'll go to 3 and they have to lose a bunch of creatures because their creatures have really, really low toughness. And this is going to be a hard block for them to figure out, to be honest. Like, let's see. They can double block the Librarian with Cerberus. I don't know. If they put, like, Cerberus here and Strongbox Raider plus Argent Cavalry here. Right? They still take 2, 4, 10. So they have to triple block. Yeah, this is great. Sure. They're at 1. Here's the thing, though. If they have a way to kill my Snare Spinner, like I'm still in trouble. But I have a Rogue's Passage with the Snare Spinner, so that's really, really great. So we'll see what they have. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that they have a Sure Strike in their hand. So if they have a bounce spell, then it is an absolute disaster for me. But otherwise, I'm just going to go for the Rogue's Passage. Okay, so they're looking for something. All right. Rogue's Passage. Overrun. Getting it. Sometimes you can, even if you don't have lethal, you can just cast the Overrun and it just completely decimates your opponent no matter what. I hope they had a Sure Strike in their hand, by the way, but I don't know for sure if they did, but it sure seemed that way. All right. 3 and 1. All right, 3 and 1 on the play. I'll keep, but I'm not happy about it. I have 10. Am I playing? I have 9 green, 7 white. And we drew 3 white sources, but look, turn 1 Healer's Hawk with the turn 3 Banishing Light. Felling Blow, if I draw a forest, is fantastic. I just need to draw 1 forest here, and my hand kind of gets unlocked. And given that I'm on the play with a turn 1 Healer's Hawk, that's going to go a pretty long way for me to keep this. So, and I have 3 lands. It's just not green. But with 9 green sources, we're going to draw the stupid Rogue's Passage thing or whatever. Oh, no, we're going to just draw forest right away. There's a shot that can kill my Healer's Hawk. I'm just going to attack. And if they level up the Kellen this turn, it's not even that big of a deal. I'll probably honestly Felling Blow, just because putting a counter on a Healer's Hawk is pretty valuable. But noting that because I'm playing against red-black, they're just going to have a lot of removal. So, you know, it's like my Healer's Hawk may not be long for this world. And especially if they pass, then I'm less likely to want to go with the Felling Blow line. Well, I did draw the Rogue's Passage. All right, let's just go with Felling Blow. Let's kill Kellen, and this is just going to be hard for them to race. Obviously, I know that they can have, whatever, a stab or a burst lightning or what have you, but... Okay, oh, that's also quite nice. The Blood Thief. The Blood Thief is big. Nice curve, by the way. 1, 2, 3. I'll probably just block. I'd rather use my Prowler as a removal spell and save my Banishing Light for a big flyer or a random bomb, I think. Burglar Rat. Alright, we'll discard this Plains. Okay, interesting. So if I make this a 5-4, it doesn't really change anything because they can double block. If I attack with Cackling Prowler and they block, then I can play another one and then just turn that into a 5-4. That seems fine. Given that they missed a land drop, I think they kind of have to block. What the crazies? Alright. They don't want to trade here? I guess they're just afraid of a trick. I don't know. But it's a lot of damage that you're taking here. Now I can just run out the Banishing Light on the 3-3 if they don't play another big creature, right? And then I just get really, really good attacks. I mean, they have to have something, though. This attack is also really weird. So they have Fake Your Own Death, I guess. And they're just hoping I block. What is this? Is there a Wrath? There's no Wrath. Oh, you know, maybe they have Slag Storm. Yeah. I mean, if they have Slag Storm, this is an easy attack with all. I'm just going to take all of this damage. Because it's more likely that they have a combat trick. Oh, okay. Huh. Do I force them to use Fake Your Own Death here? Sure. I just think this can get out of hand. It gets really annoying because they can put a counter on this. That card does absolutely nothing. On this board, at least. Let's kill the Death Touch creature and attack. Knowing them, they're just going to take all the damage. I mean, if they trump, I guess it's bad as well. Because I just morbid them down. They could have Bake into a Pie now on the Healer's Hawk. Cackling Prowler, notably, is very hard to kill. Yeah, I just didn't want the Blood Thief to just put a counter on the Siphoner. Just turns it into like a real creature. It's close, they're at 5 life, but they're certainly capable of stabilizing here. They could have like an Eaten Alive. Looks like maybe an Eaten Alive on the Prowler. Yeah, they have to pay for the ward. Okay, sure. And we have Felidar Our Savior. Onto the Hawk. Attack. I'm going to keep the land in hand for Burglar Rat. I can still just play at any time for the Rogue's Passage. So they now need to kill my Healer's Hawk. Which, you know, given that they're Rakdos, they certainly can. Super close. I mean, they're on the verge of turning this around. But I felt like we kind of played our hand, and these were the lines that were available to us for the most part. And if they kill my Hawk, they kind of have to attack with the Siphoner because I have the Rogue's Passage in play. So they kill my Hawk with some big removal spell, and then I just don't even have to use my Rogue's Passage, and then I can just cast the Rebuke if I need to on the following turn. Oh, I like that. Alright, fair enough. Although, I can just... Oh, you know, I guess they could have Stab. Yeah. All right. Rogue's Passage. Getting it done. Rogue's Passage, getting it done. Just got to squeeze in the last few points of damage. All right, what's our record right now? 4-1. Okay, I like that. Four wins with green-white, I'm okay with. All right, so that Healer's Hawk keep ended up working out for us, drawing that forest right away. Just as long as I have a Healer's Hawk or a Llanowar Elves in every opener, it's nice. This hand is not very good. See, you know, you live by the Rogue's Passage, you die by the Rogue's Passage. I will say this would have been a forest. I just can't keep that hand. Just doesn't do anything. Let's put the Indrik on the bottom. Hey, this is a turn 1 Llanowar Elves hand, so we have a lot of potential. Just need creatures. And we have like 17 in our deck. Okay, it's not ideal. I mean, it's a creature. I can't complain, but I would have loved to draw on literally any 2 or 3 drop, right? This is just like the biggest waste of a Llanowar Elves, where I play a turn 1, and I just can't follow it up with a reasonable turn 2 play. Right? That's kind of the nightmare scenario. Can't do much. We'll just play out this pup, I guess. Oh, Seer Slicer Goblin. That's cool. I don't have anything. Against my army of X1s. Not ideal at all. I'm just going to get that off the battlefield. Play it kind of slow. No reason to attack and just waste the Snakeskin Veil to kill a token. I'll just keep the Snakeskin Veil around for a trick if they try to kill my pup. And then I have Felidar Savior to pump both of my other creatures, which won't be bad. But yeah, Seer Slicer Goblin is a must kill. What you got? Come on. Come on. You gotta be kidding me. Alright. That was my answer, you know? I can't Snakeskin Veil the enchantment. Alright. I have a plan. It's not a great plan. But it involves trying to eat this Youthful Valkyrie. That's what this plan is. They're saving it too. They just have everything. I mean, it's cool to have everything. It's really nice. It's a nice situation to be in. I wish I had everything. All right. Well, I mean, if they have another thing, then we're in trouble. Jesus. Fair enough. Okay. Well, let's play a Prowler. And pass. That's a lot of creatures. But fortunately, the Felidar Savior is pretty good. So let's block the Youthful Valkyrie. And they still get a token here. It's just, it's really rough. Oh my gosh. Alright, well I have to save my Llanowar Elf, I think. I just need to just try my best to just not get run over here. Alright, let's move this here. And then I kind of need the 3/3 in play to block everything. I'm at 16. I don't really want to attack and give them free tokens. So I think we just pass again. And just hope they don't draw anything else, right? They had no cards in their hand. Cackling Prowler, we'll certainly trade with the Gorehorn Raider. Alright, now we can play Mild-Mannered Librarian. And we can pass. I mean, I guess I can try to get to a world where I get my opponent somewhat low. And then just start moving like my armors around, right? There is that world. Yeah, given that we have Overrun, I think that's the play. And it gains us a bunch of life too anyways. Resolute Reinforcement, sure. I mean, we're gaining a bunch of life off of this. 1/1s aren't that impactful. Forest would be a good draw, I guess. I don't think I have enough to kill them if I have to tap my Llanowar Elves for Overrun. That's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21, 25. 25 plus 4 is 29 damage. That is a lot. Okay. They didn't attack me. Let's do this. All right. We're at 24. Next turn, we're casting Overrun. Got them low enough. Holy cow, really? Did they have a clause out? Well, I have to play around the fact that they could have a clause out. But let's try to kill that. Let's chump here. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, I gotta just like block everything, don't I? Uh, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So this also has to block. That's not great. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's 23 damage. Oh, that is not nearly as bad as anticipated. Okay. Forest would be good. Guarded Air is also not bad. Here, the question, I just got to figure out if Overrun is lethal, because I can't Overrun unless I use the creatures on the right. If I use the creatures on the right, that is 11, 14, 17, 20 damage 20 damage, and they have 3, 4, 5, 6 toughness. That's enough. 7, 11, 14, 17, 20 damage. 3 toughness, 4, 5, 6 toughness. 6 toughness, all right. Yeah, this should get it done. Good game. Really good game. Fleeting Flight doesn't really do it either, so. Woo! That was a fun one. That one, we're both going back and forth. They had the answers. Seer Slicer Goblin kind of went off. I expected a go wide spell, and they didn't have it. And we were able to turn things around. And that moment, right, where I started attacking with my Felidar, that's the part where it gets kind of tricky, because in that board state, it looks so overwhelming from my side of the board, right? Where they're like, oh, they have so many creatures, I can never attack, I got to keep all my things back. But you have to come up with a game plan. And if you just kind of sit there forever, you kind of also give your opponent the opportunity to draw out of this, find their go wide spell. So by attacking, gaining a bunch of life, and putting myself in a position to be able to overrun in 2 turns, I think was kind of the best way to go about trying to win that game. So really happy with that decision point for us to start attacking there, even though that meant that they would get a free attack in with the Youthful Valkyrie and give them free tokens with the Slicer. Okay, Diamond Gamers. Diamond Gamers, we are 5-1. It's about as good of a result as I would expect with this deck, so happy. Happy with our sequencing. Not losing to Absurd Bombs just yet. I guess we almost lost to Seer Slicer. But so, to be fair, that Celestial Armor thing was really good. All right, turn 1 Llanowar Elves. Ideal start. Turn 2 Campus Guide from the opponent. Also ideal start for us, that is. Turn 2 Beastkin Ranger into Felidar Savior. So nice little curve here from us. See what they play. Prideful Parent, sure. Just gonna run out the Savior here. Am I willing to trade Beastkin Ranger for Prideful Parent and Campus Guide? Yes. Just because there's so much good removal in this format, if I can get a pseudo 2-for-1, I'm reasonably happy. I want to use Felling Blow. Just got to figure out what I want to kill. Probably the Healer's Hawk. And I wanted to do it on the Savior to gain life. Do they have like a raid card, I guess? I don't know. Maybe it's a Gutless Plunderer or something? Okay. It's probably a Luminous Rebuke. Fake your own death? Like, what is this? I'm going to keep the land in my hand for Burglar Rat. This could also be a land Day of Judgment, but I don't think I have enough here to play around it. If they Day of Judgment me, it's still not too bad. Wow. I think I will just let a trade happen here to... Should I play around Day of Judgment here? I think they have something, though. I'll let them be the first to flinch here. Divine Resilience. I mean, it's just Day of Judgment. And saving a 2/2 seems pretty good. Oh, you know what? I'll just Snakeskin Veil this. That's fine. Okay. There we go. Celestial Armor is also a Snakeskin Veil. So, we'll just go with this. This way, if they go land Day of Judgment, I can still win. I have such an overwhelming board here. So, there we go. All right. Yeah, happy with the sequencing there. Happy with that. Our opponent kind of got stuck on lands, but okay. It's one of those spots where I felt like we were so far ahead where you kind of get to the point where you can reasonably play around a rare. So that's kind of what I did there. It's pretty easy to just fire off the armor there, but I think I preferred using the Snakeskin Veil and saving the Celestial Armor to give Indestructible in case they play Day of Judgment and still have something left over. All right, we are on the play. We have a 6-drop, but I'm still going to keep this. We have Forests and Plains on a 1-drop. We have a Mild-Mannered Librarian. This is still fine. If we draw a bunch of lands, that's good. If we draw cheap things, also good. Cackling Prowler, certainly a fine draw. Would really like to find a land here. Nessian Hornbeetle. Probably just going to use Felling Blow if we don't find anything. Yep. They can easily play 3 mana. Like, they can easily play Ambush Wolf or something there. So I'd rather not have that happen. Looks like they're going to want to kill my Librarian here. A Braid or something along those lines. Maybe not, I don't know, but I'm just playing the Prowler. Nope, okay. Well, this is a pretty good spot then. Given that they didn't play anything that turn, it allowed us to just deploy the Prowler. Now we're in a position where if we draw land, we can Luminous Rebuke a blocker. If we don't draw land, we can just pump up the Librarian. A lot of good options here. Elvish Regrower, that's really good. Oof. I'm going to go for just the beatdown play here. Let's get that out of the way. Obviously, they can play something big here, but keep in mind that the Prowler is also going to grow here and go to 5/4. So 5/4 Ward creature is good. Getting the 4-power creature off the battlefield is also good, given that they have the Hornbeetle in their hand. And then the Mild-Mannered Librarian can also attack as a 4/4 next turn, and we have Snakeskin Veil in hand. So if they play a big creature, I mean, there's a pretty decent chance Snakeskin Veil will just allow my creature to attack through. We'll see. I'm going to let that happen and just play Guarded Air. We could have used Snakeskin Veil there on the Prowler, but I mean, look at this board. It's so hard to grind. Oh my gosh! Well, you know what? You know what? Good beats. Did they draw that? Like, could they have? Yeah, I mean, I think we play that. I think I like the way that I sequenced that. You know, they just had Slag Storm. Let's keep that alive. Yeah, Slag Storm's kind of silly. Oh well. I think we were like a pretty huge favorite to win there. In most instances. But now we're pretty big dogs. Just solid red-green deck. Just big 4-power creatures. I'll take it. I don't have anything else to do with my mana, so I can just continue growing my Snare Spinner if I have to. But the problem... Okay, well, that's a terrible card. Well, it's still scary, right? It is still scary that they have that card in play, I will say. Well, we certainly need to put a counter here. They must have been short a couple of playables to play the Cyclops. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yep. Yep. Okay. Not ideal. Now, they're at 9. Maybe there's some weird world where I can just draw like overrun somehow and come back from this, but this is not a good spot to be in. All right, so Cackling Prowler is getting chumped. Wow. All right. Yep. Well, you know, that's a thing. Let's put a counter on that thing. Man, that was like the best Slag Storm ever. It killed a 2/2 Mild Mana Librarian that I didn't pump and Guarded Air and 2 tokens. Absurd. And they top decked Incinerating Blast. Alright, good beats. Good games. Good games. That was just good. I was going to say it was a good fair game, but it wasn't. Because they played Slag Storm. Sweepers, very, very effective against green-white. But you know what? Still happy with the way that I sequenced everything there. We really put ourselves in a good position. That's all you can hope to do. And then if they play something that blows you out, like a Slag Storm in that spot, so be it, right? That's just, it is what it is. All right, opponent on the play. I got a mulligan this. I have an overrun, but just have nothing cheap I can play. And having a Felidar Savior on turn 4 with no cheap creatures is, you're just kind of asking for it here. Basically, all of our opening hands, we just want Llanowar Elves or Healer's Hawk and maybe another 2 and some lands, and then everything else, you know, is fine. This is certainly keepable. It's actually interesting. I think I'm going to bottom the Snare Spinner. I feel like I have enough to do with my mana here, and I don't want to bottom the Rogue's Passage. Looks like they have a stab. If they have a stab, I have nothing. Alright. Helpful Hunter. Okay, just another solid black-white deck. Any creatures? No. Alright. This kind of looks like the deck I had from yesterday. Let's get that Rallier off the battlefield and try to race them here. Play the land here because if I draw land number 5, I can go Commando plus Celestial Armor. They just have a really good deck. I mean, there's not much I can say. This is really, really solid. I'm just going to hope they don't have any tricks here. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. At this point, I'm just going for the high risk, high reward line. Well, yeah, let's just do it. Oh, it worked! It worked. Fake your own death? I don't care about that. Hey, the fact that, and then not only that, I just get a 3/1 flying lifelinker out of the deal here too, right? So that's fine too. Giada, okay. They're gonna block. And then I'll just play the Prowler. Which will give me another token. And I will play the land once again, because if I draw land number 6, I can play the land and go Commando plus equip Celestial Armor. Phyrexian Arena. Okay. Well, I do have a way to kill that, so that's good. Probably do want to kill it. And I don't want to race them here, so I'll just pass. Make a 6/5. All right. Have nothing else, please. I mean, this was a really great game. It looks like they haven't eaten alive. No, it's an Arbiter of Woe. Holy cow. I mean, they just kind of have like a good, ideal black-white deck, which is really, really good at grinding people out. And so there's not much I can do, right, when they do something like this. Here, I'm going to put the armor on the Elite, because that can trade with the Arbiter of Woe. And we're just on the defensive at this point. Using our mana to the best of our ability. Sure. You have a good deck. I mean, there's just, like, I can't... They have a good deck. Simple as that. I can't attack. They're at 23, I'm at 12. I can't attack. We're just hiding behind this cackling Prowler. Just hiding. And, sadly, it was not good enough. Yeah. Just bread and butter, 7.5 or 8 out of 10 black-white deck. And you know what? Good games. So, it is what it is. Here's the thing. When you play, there's like certain things that are in your control. And you just have to focus on what's in your control. And make calculated risks when you play. And the only things that you can control are playing the games to the best of your ability, making correct mulligan decisions, and drafting properly. What did I do correctly? In this particular draft, I think I played pretty well. I think I sequenced my plays, my cards pretty well, navigated a lot of the games pretty well. But I was in the wrong colors. Pack 2 green was open, but pack 1 and 3 maybe it wasn't. Snakeskin Veil tabled, I thought maybe that was somewhat of a sign. And we saw the Llanowar Elves and I kind of moved in with that felling blow. But after what we saw in pack 3, I think a blue-white deck would have been much better and would have possibly gotten us a trophy. Now, Overrun won us a game. And the Llanowar Elves' good starts were also solid, but our green just wasn't good enough here. And green almost never is. So the reason to move into green is it just has to be super wide open. Otherwise, just avoid it entirely. But I just, I draft black-white mid-range all the time, and I draft blue-white a bunch. So I just want to, I have been biasing green, thinking and hoping that it would be more open because everybody else doesn't like green, and also trying to showcase more color combinations. But that being said, we lost to Slagstorm. We got swept in the last one. And in this instance, we lost to just a stronger black-white deck after a mulligan. And that'll happen. But I thought this deck came together reasonably well. Our white cards were pretty decent. Guarded Air was pretty good there. We had some decent interaction. Celestial Armor, obviously, is fantastic. Healer's Hawk did a ton of work. Shout out to you, Healer's Hawk. And we had just enough interaction and stuff to get all the way up to 6-3, which honestly was a somewhat surprising result given this deck. So I'm really happy with that. Am I happy about going 6-1 into 6-3? No. Of course not. But if you just look at it from kind of an outside perspective of look at this deck, rate the deck, and see how you think you will do, I think 6-3 is slightly overperforming what you would expect out of this deck. This is a 4-3 deck. This is just a middling deck. Celestial Armor is a very good card. I didn't have any 2-drops. I could have used more, just more signpost cards or just more power, and we just didn't have it. And despite that, I think with some tight sequencing, we were able to get there. So you know what? 6-3, still a good result. Lost a really good deck. Shout out Beck. Good black-white deck there. I think if we play a million times, I think they probably have a 70-30 edge just in that matchup, just based off of what I saw. So really great black-white deck. Not much we could have done in that instance. But you know what? I'll take it. 6-3. Maybe we will get a trophy in the next video. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've appreciated this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. Shout out to all the patrons. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Additionally, check out tcgplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. You need a booster box or singles, check them out. Make sure you click that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Last but not least, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories, deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, and more. heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.